This is a No and Go Storm Alert. Here's Jonathan O.
Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Jonathan O with this No and Go Storm Alert, and this update is being brought to you in the early morning hours on Saturday, July 28th. I'm reporting from Tokyo, and for a good portion of eastern, central, and even into portions of western Japan, on the lookout for a strong typhoon. Here's a look at the tropical tracker and what we are seeing right now. This is a 24-hour forecast. And as we went through the day on Friday, we were seeing potential improvement in terms of the forecast. That has pretty much all gone away at this point. We are once again seeing an expanded storm warning area. For the next 24 hours, we are going to be looking at a pretty significant impact from Tokyo into Chiba and further back toward the west. In fact, because of the cold vortex that is located now further toward the west, we are now seeing the storm being driven toward the north and west as opposed to a northeasterly track. So as we go throughout the 24-hour period, going through the daytime hours on Saturday, by the time we go into lunchtime, we should see the system moving toward the north and west and battering the Izu Islands. And then by the time we go into the evening hours, around 6 o'clock to midnight, we'll see this system moving to the north and west and bringing plenty of strong winds and heavy rainfall from the Kanto region into the Tokai region as well. And then we'll see the potential landfall taking place over further toward the west. This is going to be something that we'll have to watch out for, not only for Saturday, but also into Sunday as well. Here's a look at the 72-hour forecast, and notice that it is expected to continue to slowly drag itself toward the west and bring plenty of rainfall and strong winds. Let me show you the FUTURECAST to give you an idea of what this system will look like. Notice it has a lot of strong winds associated with it. It may be hard to see the map here. There's Honshu right through here. And so by the time we go through the day on Saturday, we'll already see that easterly and southeasterly flow coming into Japan. Now, once we see the system moving toward the north and west, it will come on shore and then weaken relatively quickly by the time we go into late Sunday to Monday. Now, for those of you located in the western areas of Japan, you're going to be dealing with a lot of wet weather. That is going to be the concern as we go into the first part of next week. Probably not nearly to the intensity of what we'll be seeing into the Kansai area, particularly the Kinki and Tokai regions, and into the Kanto region, where we're going to see potential wind gusts up to 200 kilometers per hour, especially for those of you located in Tokai and Kinki. Over into Kanto, I mean, we're talking about wind gusts as high as 150 kilometers per hour, and we're talking about rainfall as high as 700 millimeters over the couple of days into the central portions of Japan. So that can lead to flooding and also some landslide and mudslide concerns. Those of you in Nagoya also looking at some very strong winds, and then over into Tokyo we're looking at rainfall totals anywhere from 500 to 600 millimeters possible over a couple of days. So as we go through Saturday and Sunday, we'll be seeing the greatest impact of this typhoon. Once we go into Monday, the system is expected to weaken, but it is still expected to continue producing rainfall into areas of western Japan that do not need to see any more rain. Essentially becomes a triple whammy. By the way, a colleague of mine, meteorologist Sayaka Mori, is mentioning that this storm is expected to drop to around 955 hectopascals according to the Japan Meteorological Agency by the time it makes landfall. If that does, Sayaka tells us that we may be dealing with a history-making storm, because it would be the strongest July storm on record for Japan as it makes landfall. So we'll have to watch that very closely. So here's a look at the forecast for Tokyo for the next 7 days. Saturday, big timing factor, strong winds and heavy rainfall beginning around lunchtime and taking us all the way through the evening hours and into possibly the overnight period when we're going to see the impact for Tokyo. For those of you located further to west into Tokai, places like Nagoya extending westward, you'll be dealing with the heavy rainfall picking up later on into Saturday evening and going into the day on Sunday. And then for those of you further back to the west into the Kinki region, for Osaka, Kobe, Kyoto, you'll be dealing with the strong winds and heavy rainfall as we go through the overnight period Saturday and through the day on Sunday. That's going to be the rough period. And interestingly enough, central Japan, the winds may fade away as we go through the day on Sunday, but the rain is going to be of concern. Some of the downpours will be of concern as we go through the day on Sunday. Now in Tokyo, we're starting off with rain, but once we see the system departing toward the west, sunny skies expected by the afternoon, and we're looking at temperatures moving from the upper 20s on Saturday. That cloud cover will keep things relatively cool. We'll see 30s starting on Sunday, and then we'll see a mix of sun and clouds as we go into the first few days of August. We are seeing this unstable weather pattern coming into the picture, which is actually what we normally see during the summer months when we see the heat and the humidity interacting with each other. So that's what we're going to see as we go into the first part of next week. But really the concern right now is this typhoon as Jongdari continues to move toward the north and west. So recap, Tokyo, around lunchtime, going to the evening hours, the strong winds and the heavy rainfall will be the story. Then we're talking about Tokai. The region will be dealing with strong winds and heavy rainfall as we go into the evening hours, overnight, into the day on Sunday. And by the way, the rain may continue all the way through the day on Sunday, even into portions of Monday. For those of you in the Kinki region, you'll be dealing with the heavy rainfall and the strong winds starting to pick up into the evening hours Saturday, but mainly overnight into the day on Sunday. And through the day on Sunday, you'll be dealing with rain and some strong winds as well. And then the western areas of Japan, you'll be dealing with slightly weaker winds by Monday to Tuesday, but you'll be dealing with some of the heavier rainfall. So you want to make sure that you are looking for a safe location to be at, because this will be the third natural type of disaster. If you include the heat that's been brutally hitting your area, this will be the third thing that's coming through. So that's going to make it particularly rough for you there. So you need to be prepared for that. So that is what we have at this point, and we will try to keep you updated as much as possible what's happening from Tokyo. I'm meteorologist Jonathan O, and this has been a Know and Go Storm Alert.